Hey, it's Bob Duffy from Intel here, and I've got a brand new TechCraft series of videos, and they're all about AI Playground 3.0, which is brand new from Intel. Lots of new features, so there's more to dive into and to go over. And in this segment, we're looking at chat specifically and other really cool things that the UI can do that it's never been able to do before. And everything that I'm showing you is running on an Intel Core Ultra X Series 3 processor, otherwise known as Panther Lake. So there's a lot to do. Let's dive in. Before we jump into chat, first let me say AI Playground 3.0 has the same mission it always has had, making local generative AI inferencing easy on Intel-powered AI PCs. It's just that there's so much more added to it, and it's just so much more powerful. With 3.0, you have a productivity tool with over 60 of the top models from Huggingface available to do image generation, chat, image editing, and video generation. Think of 3.0 like those very powerful, popular online tools for AI, but everything is local and at your fingertips. Why run local? Well, at CES, Perplexity AI CEO Aravind Srinivas gave us 4 reasons. 1, performance, to reduce latency from crowded internet congestion or bottlenecks. 2, privacy and security, as an option when you want to keep your data safe, secure, and private. Economics, to conserve or eliminate the cost of tokens in cloud subscriptions. And finally, control. And that's control over how, when, and why your data and content is generated and managed. Okay, so with that background and overview, let's dive in and look at chat in AI Playground 3.0. First, you'll see the interface looks a lot different. It's brighter, isn't it? Well, you can control that over here in the app settings. If you like it in the default dark mode, you can do that. But we now have this very handy dandy light mode as well. So first off, it looks a little bit different. Secondly, you'll notice that when it comes to chat, chat was in a tab called answer. So we don't have those separate tabs anymore. There's one prompt area, whether you're doing chat, image gen, image editing, or video. What you'll notice is the settings are over here. So when I'm in chat, I've got chat settings, and with any of the settings, whether they're image gen, image edit, or video, we've got these things. I call them presets. These are recipes for doing very specific things in that mode. So if you're in chat, we've got specific recipes for basic chat or something like NPU. So if you're going to be targeting the NPU, what we've got is the models are restricted just to the NPU, and you don't have other options like backend or targeting specific hardware because you've already done that with NPU chat. Reasoning gives you a filter specific for reasoning, and some people found that hard. They didn't know which models were reasoning. And the same now with vision and agentic. So these are new areas. So we're going to actually spend some time on vision. In like just similar, vision will give you a list of models that can do vision. So if I'm in Llama CPP, I've got these 2 models. If I was doing OpenVINO, I'd have these models here. We're going to use Llama CPP. Now, I also, if you look at the order of these things, as you go from basic all the way through to agentic, they're able to do what the previous one did. So for example, reasoning is able to do chat with RAG. Vision is able to do reasoning, and agentic is able to do vision. So it's kind of in that hierarchy. So we're going to do vision, but and we've got the QuenVL model selected, but we are also going to look at something called enabling tools or agentic tool calling that's now available in this. So the first thing that I want to do is just some basic stuff, something that we're used to doing all the time, which is the ability to search and get information from a document. So I'm going to select a document here, and it is this AI PC report. So I'm going to put this in. Now, I could have done it a normal way. If you notice that I've got this plus button to do it. So let me show you the more traditional way that we've done it. If you go over to the chat settings, I've got Agentic selected. I've got documents here, and I can select my AI PC report, which I already had loaded there. So this is the way that we're kind of familiar with doing it. Or you can click the little plus button and do it there as well. What are 3 takeaways from this AI PC report? All right, So we're using a vision model, and it's going to load that model, and it's going to answer that. So this is essentially the stuff that we already know. I'm just showing you how to do something that you already know how to do, but we're doing it through the new UI. So it's giving us 3 takeaways right here. Well, you may have noticed there are a couple of other things. Like one of these, I've got information on this model that I didn't have before. And it also tells me what my context max size is, which is pretty cool. The other thing that it's done is it's telling me the percentage of tokens that I'm using. So right now I have this set up to 12,000 total context size, up to 2048 per prompt. So there we go. So some new features in something that we already know how to do, but now doing them through the new interface. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to add in an image. We're using a vision model, and with vision models, we can add images. So I'm going to add it a slightly different way. Let me go to my files here. Yeah, so I've got this chart here. I'm just bringing it up in the image viewer in Windows. And I'm just going to hit copy. So you know it's a copy and paste of an image. And I'm just going to Control V. And I'm going to say, from this graphic, tell me what this specific SKU's NPU and GPU tops are. So let's go ahead and ask that. So it's going to parse this graphic, look at that, and then it's going to come back and tell me the answer. Now, it's just pixels, right? There's no data in here for it to really tell me what's going on, other than it's just looking at the pixels. Okay, so it has correctly told me that that NPU has 50 tops and the GPU has 122 tops. So we're doing something new now. Now we're actually looking at images, and we're looking at images and getting information. And so I'm going to go through some other examples of this. So here's an image, and I asked it to give me detail of this image, explain it, and it's done it in great detail. And then I asked it to visually identify information in this using bounding boxes, and it did this as well. So vision can be very powerful. Here, I wrote out a math formula and I asked it to help me with it. And it's told me that this is solved through an order of operations, and it goes through each of the steps and gives me the final answer of 17. Here's another example, an image of this mushroom. And I asked it, is this safe to eat? It says, no, it's not. This is known as magic mushrooms here. So there's a lot that we can do with vision. It's very powerful, and it's nice that we now have this included inside AI Playground. All right, so let's get back to our discussion that we had before. And I'm going to do something else. So we're kind of on the theme of AI PC and Panther Lake. So let's have it create a Panther for us. And I'm going to turn on enabling tools and try that. So this is something new. I'm in the Agentic preset, and this is going to do something called tool calling. So let's see what it does. So it's writing a prompt for me, and it's calling the tool Comfy UI, and it's preparing. And because this is going to take a little bit of time, I'm going to speed the video up at this point. Okay, there it did it. Look at that. We have a beautiful panther in a high-tech office environment. It's got a diamond-studded necklace. It says 12E around that necklace. So very, very cool. So this is interesting. So what's happened here is the vision model is not able to generate an image, but it does have tool calling capabilities from our agentic preset. And we're able to call tools outside of chat. So within image generation, there is a new preset called Pro 2 Image, and this is using the Z Image Turbo model through Comfy UI. And if we look at this, it says that it's using the Comfy UI tool, and it's using Pro 2 Image. It went ahead and wrote the prompt for me, launched PyTorch and Comfy UI, loaded up that model into the GPU, inferenced it, and pulled it into my discussion. So there are many reasons why you might want to do this. Lots of value to this. I'll show you something here that I did myself as I was creating AI Playground. Just scroll through all of this here. I had started creating some icons for AI Playground a long time ago, and this was like one of the icons that I pulled together. Now, I like this look, and I wanted the other icons to have this similar look. And I asked AI Playground to describe all of those icons that I had loaded in. I think I'd loaded in 3 or 4. It described them very well. And then I said, could you create some other icons like this, one for vision, one for agentic, one for document search, and one for basic chat. And this is what it did. It generated all of these icons. And then I went through and I iterated till I got the icons that you're eventually seeing in the UI here. So this became very helpful for me to make sure that I could adhere a design to a look and feel of something that I had already started. So very helpful for me. I'll give you another example. So I had this image that I created using, I think it was SDXL or Flux back in the day. And I wanted to create another image like it, but I wanted to use this, the Z image turbo. So I asked AI Playground to describe this image. Let me get rid of this. And it described it in great detail. I then asked it to generate another image very similar to it. It wrote the prompt and it created this image here, which to me looks very, very good. And then through the prompt, I said, hey, let's just change it up a little bit. Let's give her a dark blue dress and red hair, and I get this one. So your ability to manage control from a reference image using chat is actually very strong and very, very good. So I love this feature. I think this is great. So this adds to the value and the power of what you can do with chat inside of AI Playground. But let's move on. There is more for sure. And last but not least, we have a new feature within our app settings called speech to text. When enabled by default, it will load a model onto the NPU and it'll just keep that in the background. With it in the background, at any point, you can click the microphone icon and then just speak, and that will be your prompt. So let's try it and let's just see if it'll do it. So I'll turn it on. What is the coolest new feature in AI Playground 3.0? And there it is. It did that perfectly. So yeah, we'll find out because we loaded up the AI Playground users guide and we'll see if it knows what the coolest feature is of AI Playground 3.0. Actually, I don't know. I wrote the guide and I don't know what the coolest feature is. We just have a lot of features in there and we'll see what it tells us. Okay, it's coming back with vision model support. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, because we put some work into the paste image stuff, and it is at the heart of some of the multimodal stuff. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. I agree. Vision support, one of the coolest things we got. So a lot of what we just went over, it thinks is cool. I think it's cool. Hopefully you think it's cool by actually trying out AI Playground. There's a lot more to it, and I'm going to do another video where we start looking at image generation, image editing, and so forth. So there you go. That's everything you need to know about chat in the new AI Playground 3.0. We've got a new interface. It's easier to use. Things called presets that support things like vision and agentic flow, as well as voice support in our app settings. So there's a lot more to learn, and we're going to have videos on image generation and image editing as well. Lots happening in AI Playground 3.0, and you can learn a whole lot about it by going to intel.com/AI-playground. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to this video channel. But until next time, I'm Bob Duffy. We'll catch you later.